This review has been made possible by Chevrolet of Naperville. As you know, Chevy has tons of brand new cars and trucks available for purchase, but did you know that they also have a remarkable selection of used cars? Head on over to ChevroletofNaperville.com and look through hundreds of used cars for sale right now.
Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I'm driving a 2014 BMW i3. Up front, there's nothing. It's actually in the back is a single electric motor powering the rear wheels. Down below is a one-speed transmission. You can even call it that.
This video is sponsored by CarMarshal.com. If you'd like to support the channel, click the link down in the description below. CarMarshal.com advertises for over 100,000 vehicles across the US.
But let's get back to that all-electric drivetrain. This is an all-electric car. Now, some i3s were actually offered with a range extender. And so what that means is it was a small two-cylinder, essentially motorcycle engine that was in the car. So if you ran out of charge, it would actually generate some electricity for you using a two-cylinder engine so you could get home and charge it up again. But this is not that. This is the full electric BMW i3. And this is the first electric BMW I've ever driven here on the channel, which is super exciting. But that being said, as you'll probably notice throughout this video, I'm driving right now. Watch when I take my foot off the gas. It starts braking. Now that's regenerative braking. What it does is it's pulling power that would normally be wasted. It's actually pulling that out of the brakes and helping you recharge the battery or really just maintain your charge level. And so the reason I bring that up is because it makes this thing a really interesting driving experience. The steering is pretty heavy. It has instant torque, as you just saw, but then as soon as you let off, it's on the brakes. It's really, really weird, really finicky to get used to. But because it brakes when you're off the throttle, that does not mean you don't have a brake pedal. You still have a full brake pedal, of course, more for like panic braking. But if you're coming up to a light, you can really get away with just taking your foot off of the gas, and the car will do 90% of the braking on its own to regenerate that lost electricity. And thus, even though I'm in drive, my foot is off the gas, the car's not moving. But one of the nice perks of the electric drivetrain is that instant torque, like I just previously mentioned. So we are here on the test track. No reason to really put the windows down because you won't hear anything, but ready, set, go. Wow. Okay, so that was 50. And you can really feel how skinny these tires are once you get up to 50. It started to waver just a little bit, which is not the most encouraging when you're driving a car that you don't own. But as you saw, it's that instant torque. There, it's up. You know, it doesn't have to build revs to build torque. All the torque is there, and that's super, super nice. So let's talk about the interior. We have a lot to talk about. So in front of me, I have what looks like a miniature iPad or something. It's just a screen showing me my speed, the speed of the road I'm on, my trip odometer, miles on the car. And what's nice is that you don't have to break in electric motors. So as soon as you get them, you can floor it all you want. It's sort of oddly out of the way. I have to adjust the steering wheel a little bit to fully see the gauges. They're all right. You know, I think that they're a little bit small, and I actually sort of feel that way about a lot of things in here. But getting to the rest of the interior, on the steering wheel, I do have my cruise control options, radar cruise, and on the right, I have my phone and volume options. Nothing really too crazy there. The steering wheel itself looks weird, but the things that are on it actually make sense and look pretty standard BMW. To the left, I just have my headlight switches, and then on the door, I have lock and unlock, and then my window switches. In the center, I do get a screen that seems to be floating out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know how much I like that, because we come down here to the radio and climate controls, and it looks like it was pulled out of a regular 3 Series. So the effect that I'm getting, it kind of looks like someone kind of piecemealed this car together. I mean, really, this looks like 3 Series BMW climate controls. And honestly, they probably are. They almost actually look flipped upside down, but that's what they look like. It looks just pieced together. This car kind of looks pieced together the more and more I look around. And I'll talk about the full interior after we get through, of course, the basics. Down on the center console, I do have 2 cup holders. I have my standard BMW joystick. There's no shifter down here. The shifter, skipping back up to the wheel, is actually to the right of the steering wheel and is the weirdest shifter I think I've seen in a very long time. You sort of twist it to put it into drive, neutral, and reverse. Any 90s kid will totally recognize this. If you guys had a bop it when you were a kid, pull it, twist it. You literally have to twist it. It's like a bop it. I mean, seriously, that's the best analogy I can make, is that in order to get this thing into gear, you have to do bop it. Literally, I wish some smart engineer guy who has an i3 will tune it or make it so whenever you turn the car on, it says twist it in the guy's voice or whatever. Oh, that would be just the best. But getting back down to the center console, I do have Comfort and Eco Pro mode. So Comfort, Eco Pro, and Eco Pro Plus. I don't understand why it's Comfort, Eco Pro, and Eco Pro Plus, which is a lot to say and a tongue twister on its own. Why not just Comfort, Eco Pro? But I guess, I'm not an engineer at BMW. I'm sure they have their reasons. Then I have what I can only imagine is a hand pad for the scroll wheel, and then my electronic parking brake. I like the scroll wheel. I think it has good feedback. I think, BMW has one of the leading scroll wheels in the industry. Now let's talk about the seats. The seats are hard. I don't understand why cars like this, the Chevy Bolt is what first comes to mind. I don't understand why they have to have the hardest of the hard seats, but they do, and that, that's how they are. But speaking of seats, we do have back seats. Let's do a back seat review. All right, so I'm in the back of the 2014 BMW i3. Sorry, I cannot close that door. I cannot reach it, and I'm alone. But back seats are actually not as bad as I thought. Suicide doors are kind of cool. It kind of honestly makes more sense back here. I actually really like it. I don't really get any amenities. Yeah, I actually don't get any amenities. I actually have a decent amount of room. My knees don't hit. I have plenty of headroom. Honestly, I have to say this is the most surprising positive part of the car, is that I actually am really impressed with the back seats. And overall, this interior has so much going on. You'll see up front there is a carbon plastic blend. Now this is actually one of the first cars to actually have a carbon plastic chassis, carbon plastic tub. You wouldn't think, carbon fiber plastic, you'd think race car. What would you think the first mass-produced car to have that would be? Corvette, maybe a Viper, something like that. But no, it's a little BMW i3. But that being said, there's so many materials going on here. There's gray leather that's stitched, but then there's wood, and then there's that carbon, and then the seats get this sort of snakeskin looking, like your grandma patched your jeans looking material. And then also on the door, there's this different material. Way too many materials, BMW. I don't understand what was wrong with black leather. Okay, black leather with the wooden inserts would have been totally fine, but there's just so much going on here. So much going on. I really don't understand it. But let's get to looks. So much going on. A lot going on. The rear doors are suicide doors. They do open up backwards, and that's pretty neat. But the looks just have so much going on. They're so crazy. This is a weird looking, ugly car. I'm sorry. These things look kind of ugly in my own opinion, but they are something new and different. And so, new sights are sights for sore eyes. Is that a saying? Did I just make that up? I don't know. But overall, with the i3, here's the thing. I was hyped over this car in 2013, back when I first got my license. Yes, I got my license in 2013. I hope you feel old, whoever's watching this. When this car came out, it was something new. BMW, a German luxury brand known for the M3 and the M5 and this fire-breathing sedans, put out this little tiny electric car. And so they were really the first people to kind of step into the electric car zone, at least for German luxury cars. Mercedes doesn't have a competitor to this. Audi, as far as I know, don't have a competitor to this. I think they had an electric A3, but not a direct, weird, quirky competitor to this. Really, the competitor to this is the Chevy Bolt, of all things. And so BMW really took a leap. They made a small, little electric car from a German company. As we talk right now, there's a brand new BMW 330 out on the test track. That's what they're known for. That's their bread and butter. That's what makes sense. This does not. And so when this first came out, I was like, wow, BMW's really making a stance And they're going out there, and this is the new tide. They are turning over a new leaf. This is what is going to start all the other luxury brands to have electric cars. But now 5 years later, the i3 is nearly identical. I think it has a little bit more range. But besides that, BMW hasn't really progressed with this all that much. It's still an electric car. It's still unique. It's still different. It's still something to look at. But I really thought BMW was going to turn over a whole new leaf. And I understand it's only 5 years, technology doesn't move as fast as people want it to, whatever. But I thought that this was going to be the new BMW. And now after driving one, I'm really glad it's not. I'm really glad that BMW is not wholeheartedly going this direction. First of all, whoever thought that all these materials in here would look good? Oh man, the words I have to say to you. And second of all, a tiny little hatchback? BMW, that's not you. That's not you at all. This doesn't make any sense to me, really. This car, I guess that's what it boils down to. This car makes no sense to me. The Bop It shifter, no sense. All of the materials in here, no sense. The styling, no sense. Maybe it's a little bit more aerodynamic, but man, aerodynamics can be prettier than this. This just genuinely does not make any sense to me. And so I wish that BMW would push this technology further. I wish that they would expand upon this. I wish that they had a 330 that was electric, and I know that they're just coming out with that, but I thought that it would be sooner. And I know a 3 Series BMW electric is on the way, but I wish that they did it sooner, and honestly, I wish that they started off with that instead of this. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned something about the 2014 BMW i3. Huge thank you to Chevy of Naperville for letting me take out their used i3. I mean, this is a really cool car. It's an interesting car. I don't understand it. But huge thank you to Chevy of Naperville. Their website is up on the screen. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.